Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today's Pick a Pile reading is all about a message that you were meant to see right now. There are 3 piles for you to choose from. From left to right we have piles 1, 2, and then 3, and the timestamps for each pile will be in the description below. Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's jump right into it. The message that opens this pile is powerful. You are already winning, even if it doesn't feel that way yet. Triumph singles movement, momentum, and a breakthrough after resistance. You are further along than you think, not because everything is perfect, but because you didn't give up. The effort you've been putting in, especially where you've been doubting yourself or not seeing results, is about to turn. What you're about to experience isn't luck, it's the payoff of endurance. There's a strong message here about trusting your ability to lead yourself out of stagnation. No one else is going to hand you a victory, but you don't need them to. This energy shows that the universe has been matching your grit in unseen ways. Now is the time to keep going, even if you're running low on confirmation. You've been moving with discipline, even without a finish line in sight, and that's exactly why you're about to cross one. So if you've been looking for a sign that it's working, that it's worth it, this is it. The message right now is clear. Don't stop. You're not just enduring, you're winning. The momentum might feel off lately, like things have been dragging, like your efforts weren't creating visible change, but this card reverse often points to burnout, perfectionism, or losing sight of the long game. You may have been putting in work but not seeing the reward, and that disconnect has been chipping away at your motivation. What's coming through clearly is this: your path doesn't need to be perfect to be progress. You're being reminded that part of the victory is simply not giving up, even when you're tired or even when things feel messy. This card isn't saying you've failed, it's saying reassess, step back, and realign. And when you return to the work, do it with intention, not just habit. You're not off track, you just needed a breath. The message here is to keep your structure, but find your spark again. The pace will pick up when you stop trying to micromanage the outcome and return to why you started in the first place. Now this is the stability you've been craving, and it's coming from you. The Queen of Pentacles is grounded, generous, and completely capable of creating a life that feels abundant on all levels. This card shows that even if your external world hasn't caught up yet, you've developed an inner steadiness that can't be shaken. That's the real foundation for everything you're building. There's a message here about worth, not the kind you chase, but the kind you claim. You've been doing the emotional and practical work to become someone who knows what they bring to the table. And now the universe is starting to respond to that certainty with opportunities that match it. This is your reminder to stop waiting for permission. You're not in the proving phase anymore, you're in the receiving phase, and what's coming next will reflect the grounded confidence you've been cultivating in private. Now here's the breakthrough. You're finally releasing a pattern that used to keep you stuck. Whether it was fear, a toxic dynamic, an unhealthy attachment, or even a habit you couldn't shake, you're cutting cords. The devil reversed is about liberation, not because the temptation isn't still there, but because you're not choosing it anymore. There's clarity here. You're seeing things as they are, not as you wish they were, and that alone is powerful. You're done romanticizing what's kept you small, done pretending that comfort is the same as peace, and that shift, that decision to free yourself, is what opens up space for something new to grow. Your message right now is to keep choosing freedom, keep choosing truth, even when it's hard and even when it's lonely, because every time you do, you reclaim a piece of your power, and that adds up fast. There may be moments of self-doubt creeping in, especially around leadership, direction, or the fear that you're not showing up big enough. The King of Wands reversed doesn't mean that you're failing, it means you're questioning whether you're allowed to take up space, whether you're allowed to lead without having all the answers. And the answer is, yes, you are. This card also calls out imposter syndrome. You might feel like you're faking it or like others are better equipped to do what you're doing, but you're not lacking, you're learning. Confidence comes through action, not perfection. And the only thing standing between you and that next opportunity might just be that the belief that you're ready for it. So the message here is lead anyway, even if your hands are shaking, even if you're not sure who's watching, because you're ready. You just haven't let yourself believe it yet. Here is your fresh start. The Page of Wands is that burst of excitement, curiosity, and creative impulse that pulls you forward fast. It doesn't care if the plan is perfect, it just wants to move. You're about to feel that inner fire return. A new idea, a new offer, or even just a shift in mindset is going to spark movement where there's been stagnation. This card is saying it's time. Time to say yes to something, even if it's small. Time to follow the nudge, the inspiration, or the curiosity. Healing and stability don't mean you have to be still. They mean you're finally equipped to chase what lights you up without burning out. Your next move doesn't have to be big, it just has to be honest. Let your passion guide you. Let your excitement take the lead for once. The road is opening, and now you're ready to walk it. So that's what I'm getting for pile 1. If this resonated for you, please let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe. See you next time. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's jump right into it. There's a quiet but potent energy around you right now. Emotional withdrawal doesn't mean isolation for the sake of avoidance. It means you're creating space to reconnect with yourself, to hear your own voice beneath the noise. You may have pulled back from something, a connection, a decision, maybe a demanding environment, not out of fear, but out of necessity. This moment of pause is about preservation. You've been pouring out for a long time, and now your spirit is asking for replenishment. This isn't about closing off, but about consciously retreating so that you can return to the world with clarity. You've outgrown something emotionally, maybe a mindset or a way of relating to others, and this stillness is helping you recalibrate. If it feels like things have gone quiet, or like you're not being seen in the way you were before, that's okay. It's not rejection, it's redirection. You're being guided back to center before a more aligned path reveals itself. The message you were meant to receive: it's safe to step back without losing momentum. Sometimes progress looks like stillness. Sometimes healing requires solitude. And right now, your intuition is being sharpened in the silence. Balance is the word that echoes here. You've been juggling, maybe roles, responsibility, and emotional pulls, and it's been a delicate dance. You're managing, but it's tiring. This card shows that you've done a good job of keeping things afloat, but the deeper message is about choosing sustainability over performance. You don't have to hold everything forever, and you can reprioritize without failing. The message here is one of conscious decision-making. Not everything needs your energy right now, and some of what you're carrying may not even be yours to hold. You're being guided to take an honest look at where your time, focus, and emotions are going, and whether those investments are truly supporting your long-term well-being. Balance isn't about doing things more efficiently, it's about doing what actually matters, and you're being called to simplify, restructure, and release what's creating internal noise without contributing to your growth. This card brings long-term vision into sharp focus. There's a legacy being built, whether it's financial, family, or spiritual. The opportunity in front of you isn't just about short-term wins. It's about creating a foundation that supports not only your stability, but also your values. You're in a phase where the decisions you make now have ripple effects, and this card is confirmation that you're on the right path, even if it's slow and even if no one sees it yet. The Ten of Pentacles reminds you that the work you're doing, internally and externally, matters. You may be moving towards greater stability, deeper community, or a vision of life that actually feels meaningful. This is legacy work, and while it might not be glamorous in the moment, it's anchoring you in something truly lasting. Your message right now is to stay connected to the long game. Don't let short-term discomfort make you abandon what you're building. The rewards aren't just material, they're about safety, belonging, and finally being in spaces that fit. A decision has been hovering, maybe one you've been trying to avoid or delay, but the indecision isn't serving you anymore. This card reverse shows that clarity is rising, even if it's uncomfortable. You're no longer able to wait and see. Your heart and intuition already know the direction. Now your mind just has to catch up. You may feel a sense of pressure here, a need to choose, act, or to stop hovering into the limbo of maybe. The good news is, once the choice is made, things start to move. This card reminds you that clarity is not about certainty, it's about honesty. You're being asked to choose alignment over convenience and truth over comfort. The message here is this: the longer you delay the choice, the heavier it gets. But once you make it, even if it's scary, You'll find energy and momentum return almost immediately. The clarity you need is already within you. Trust it. Now here's your green light. The Knight of Swords comes charging in with momentum, urgency, and sharp clarity. After a period of reflection and indecision, this card shows that something is about to move fast. Whether it's a decision, a conversation, or a clear opportunity, the moment you stop hesitating, the universe responds with acceleration. This isn't impulsive energy, it's focused. You're not acting out of fear or ego, you're acting out of conviction. The internal work you've been doing is now translating into action, and the message is, don't stall. If the door opens, walk through it. If the conversation needs to happen, just start it. You're ready. You're actually more than ready. Your mind is sharp, your timing is aligned, and your heart knows what it wants. Let that be enough to move. The pressure of conflict, internal or external, is a natural part of this shift. This card shows that stepping into your clarity may ruffle feathers or trigger resistance, either from others or from the parts of yourself still attached to keeping the peace. But this isn't about chaos, it's about confrontation as clarity. You're not here to fight, you're here to claim space. There may be some tension as you assert your needs, your vision, or your new boundaries, and that's okay. You're not here to please everyone. You're actually here to move forward in truth. Let this friction refine your message, not silence it. What feels like conflict now is actually helping you separate what supports you from what doesn't. The message now, don't fear the resistance. It means you're shaking loose old energy. This isn't a setback, it's proof you're finally moving. So that's what I'm getting for pile 2. If this resonated for you, please let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe. See you next time. Hello pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's jump right into it. There's something pulling at you, an old pattern, desire, or a familiar path that looks easy but doesn't actually free you. Temptation appears when something is luring you back into habits that used to offer comfort but now cost too much. This could be a person, a distraction, or even a mindset that makes you feel momentarily safe while quietly keeping you stuck. The message here isn't judgment, it's awareness. You're being shown what still has a hold on you and are asked whether it deserves that much power anymore. You may feel caught in a loop, doing things you've outgrown because they're easy or because they shield you from uncertainty, but that illusion of control is slipping. You know too much now, and you've grown, and what used to feel like relief now feels more like avoidance. The choice ahead isn't about perfection, it's about choosing what serves your growth, not your numbness. This moment is a test of self-trust. Will you answer the pull of what's familiar, or pause long enough to step into something unfamiliar but true? Things are coming into light. The moon reversed reveals what's been hidden, especially the truths you've been avoiding within yourself. There's clarity rising, not necessarily through logic, but through intuition. You're finally beginning to see the situation, or person, pattern, more clearly, and without the romantic fog or emotional distortions. And while that might feel disorienting at first, it's also deeply empowering. This isn't about calling yourself out, it's about calling yourself into the parts of you that have been operating in shadow and out of fear, pain, or just habit. You may have sensed something that wasn't quite right for a while, but this is the moment where it clicks, where what used to confuse you now makes sense, where you stop asking, is it me, and start asking, what is this showing me? Your message right now is don't run from what's being revealed, sit with it. Even the uncomfortable truths are guiding you towards something more honest, more stable, and more freeing. There's a part of you that wants to open up, emotionally, creatively, and spiritually, but keeps hitting a wall. This card reverse suggests you've been suppressing your feelings or avoiding emotional vulnerability. Maybe because past attempts were misunderstood, rejected, or left you exposed. The result is emotional stalling, like a heart that wants to speak but doesn't know how. Healing here comes from reparenting that tender part of you, the inner child who got shut down when they tried to express their truth. Right now, you're not being asked to pour your heart out to the world, just to start letting yourself hear it again. What do you feel? What do you long for? What have you been pretending doesn't matter just to feel safer? The message here is to soften, not because it's safe, but because it's necessary. Let your emotions rise, even if they're messy, even if they don't make sense right away. Your heart is trying to wake back up. Everything pauses here, not to punish you, but to create perspective. The Hanged Man is not a block, it's a choice to stop pushing and start seeing. You're in a suspended moment where the answers won't come through action, but through surrender, and that surrender is where your power is. This card tells you the shift you're seeking won't come from doing more, it'll come from you looking at your situation from a new angle, asking different questions, challenging your assumptions, and releasing the need to force clarity. It's uncomfortable, yes, especially if you're used to solving your way out of pain, but this is spiritual traction, a sacred pause before forward movement. You're not being asked to fix it all today, you're being asked to see it differently, and once you do, the path that once felt tangled will start to straighten on its own. The overthinking, the anxiety, and the weight of what if, it's all been very heavy lately. The Nine of Swords reflects a mind in overdrive, often triggered by unresolved emotions or suppressed truths. You've likely been carrying this worry quietly, unsure of how to process it without spiraling. But the message here isn't about stopping the thoughts, it's about questioning their authority. Your fears have been louder than your wisdom lately, and it's taking a toll. But your future self is reminding you, these thoughts are not facts, they're echoes. Echoes of past wounds, past versions of yourself who didn't know what you know now. It's okay to feel afraid, but it's time to take the power back from those voices. This card offers a quiet truth. You don't have to believe everything your mind says in the middle of the night. Healing means learning to listen, and then choose what gets your energy. And just like that, we have movement. After a long stretch of inner processing, this card signals that things are about to shift quickly. Whether it's communication, clarity, or an opportunity, something is lining up faster than you expected. The energy that's been tangled is finally unraveling, and suddenly, everything starts to click. This isn't random luck, it's the reward for your internal work, for the truth you've been facing, the emotions you've been naming, and the surrender you've allowed. And now, the external world starts to mirror that internal shift. Messages, momentum, and unexpected alignment begin to flow in. Your message right now is get ready, not for chaos, but for confirmation. What felt delayed is on its way. All that inner stillness is about to move. So that's what I'm getting for pile 3. If this resonated for you, please let me know in the comments, and of course, like and subscribe. See you next time.